game. So he's used to seeing Tony Gibson.
This time Heupel gets the better of it, and Sampson goes into the checkerboard from... Oh, it's a pick! McCall was inaccurate, and it's picked up by Will Brooks. The walk-on is running. The walk-on is running in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, give him 6.
Run game going.
Mauyama pulls it in. It's an easy touchdown pass to Miles Kitzelman. The Alabama transfer.
Nice enough to drop those off. Variety.
Nico is going to waltz into the end zone. Touchdown, Tennessee. Just keep those at home now. Yeah. But what he's going to do is get Tennessee home by giving it to Dylan Sampson and give number 6.
It'll be cool though.
I think it's going to be a really emotional trip for Josh to go back there. It's going to be another touchdown for Tennessee. Holden stays. The Notre Dame transfer catches the taunt from Mauyama and Tennessee.
Once I had a girl on Rocky Top, half bear, the other half cat. Wild as a mink, but sweet as soda pop. I still dream about that.
You want to know something? And I bet you want to know something. I'll tell you something. Kent State sucks. They really do. They suck. Kent State sucks. You want to know why they suck? Well, I don't know. They just suck. What do you want me to say? The city sucks. I mean, they don't. Kent State isn't a city. It's not like Chattanooga. I can't say their city sucks. I don't know. They just suck. Here's what I'll do. All right, here's what I'll do. I'm going to go find some things to say about Kent State. And in the meantime, here's all the grand accomplishments that Kent State football has to offer. Until then, I'll leave you to it. I'll be right back. Week 2 of the college football season is officially in the books. It was just like last week, except laced with roids. We had upsets, blowouts, and the exposure of several fraudulent teams who thankfully we know are not back. We're covering more games this week than the last, so no point in introductions. If you're watching this video, you know what you're in for. Welcome to the very short Friday night slate, featuring a primetime matchup of Methodists versus Mormons. Gerald J. Ford Stadium holds up to 32,000 fans and approximately 32 showed up. BYU coming into this game as a double-digit underdog seemed like a steal for betting odds. Seems to be the case as SMU went straight back to how they played against Nevada. Now, if you're one of these people who dedicates football on Saturdays and doesn't care what happens... Okay, alright. Now I have a few things to say about Kent State. I had to look up just how unbelievably awful they are. Like, my expectations about Kent State were extremely low considering the state of the program right now, and somehow they can't even make it up to there. It's unreal. It's unreal. We are up here as a program, and then Kent State is down, so far down, you got to go to the friggin' land down under to find it. It's ridiculous. You sometimes have these moments in time and in history where a group of 5 or lower tier program in the state of college football has a year where they somehow win like 11, 12 games in a season, and then, they fall off a cliff and die, as per the group of 5 teams do. They do that. They'll have a one really, really good year, and then they just completely phase out of existence for a decade. Well, Kent State had a year like that all the way back in 2012, right before Derek Dooley got fired. So that tells you how long it was since Kent State was really, really good. They finished 11-3 that year. And 11-3, not necessarily a bad year, but that was the absolute peak of Kent State football, was that season where they went 11-3. I can't think, but somewhere recently, I feel like Tennessee finished better than 11-3. Somewhere around 11-2, maybe, somewhere around that range. Yeah, under Josh Heupel. So one of the really good seasons Tennessee had, but not nearly the best seasons Tennessee ever had. That was still better than the absolute peak of Kent State's program history. So that tells you everything you need to know. To really get a grasp on just how irrelevant Kent State is as a program, you got to go all the way back to 2019 or 18 for this, but back during the baby stages of Squidtard Sports, when I just started analytically covering some of these week by week games, stuff like that. During the baby stages, I barely knew anything about college football. One of the games on there was Kent State playing somebody. I don't remember who. I didn't have looked yet, but Kent State was playing somebody, and my words, back in my high school days, go as follows.
So I'm picking Virginia Tech big in this one. UAB at Akron. I think UAB wins this one. They're just the better team. Kennesaw State at Kentucky State. Kentucky State. Kentucky State.
Kentucky State. Yeah. I thought you were in the state of Kentucky, and Kent was an acronym to Kentucky. That's what I thought. And I'm sure I'm not the only one who thinks that. If you cover college football on a casual level, I am sure that there are a lot of people who think that Kent State is just Kentucky State. That's how irrelevant they are. Nobody even knows where they are. Hell, I at least knew where Chattanooga was on the map. I at least knew which state they resided in. I didn't know anything about Kent State. Who does? Anyway, you're not here for a Kent State history lesson. You're here to learn about all the ways that they suck. And there are a whole lot of ways they suck. I mean, they suck beyond recognition. They suck so bad. First of all, they haven't won this year at all. And if you look back at their recent history, they did a whole lot more sucking because they haven't won any games. They finished like what? 1-11 last season? You won one game in the past year. One game. That's insanity. Absolute insanity. Not to mention their last game. You know who they lost to? No, of course you don't. I'll tell you who they lost to. They lost to something called, get this, St. Francis. St. Francis! What'd you go out and do? Lose to the Pope? You're ridiculous. Go out friggin' St. Francis. Come on. Come on. There's not a whole lot I can say to that because that is already so demoralizing. That's way worse than Notre Dame losing to Northern Illinois. St. Francis. St. Francis rolled into an FBS level stadium and beat the unholy hell out of Kent State. You know what the worst part is? You got to go from that to waltzing your way into Neyland Stadium to play the undefeated top 10 Tennessee Volunteers. I don't know what to tell you. I think you've already accepted your fate and are just kind of sitting down waiting for the guillotine to come and, but I mean, there really isn't much else I could say other than that. I mean, you're a Kent State fan. You're already demoralized enough. So look, I'll wrap this up the best way that I can because you're going to have to hear it all next week again because you got to play Penn State next week. And, as terrible as Penn State's been performing, they're liable to beat the unholy hell out of you too. So I'll go ahead and say this the best way that I can. Kent State, I'm sorry, it has to be this way. We've never played before, so you're not, you have no idea what you're waltzing into. But I'll tell you exactly what's coming, which is you're going to take the whooping of an absolute lifetime. And I genuinely mean that. I'm not even just saying that. I genuinely mean you are going to take the whooping of a lifetime. Remember what happened to Chattanooga 2 weeks ago? 69-3. You're lucky if it isn't worse than the South Alabama game from yesterday. That's how bad this might be. So all you need to know, Kent State, man, is put on a blindfold maybe. Don't watch the game. It's late at night. Maybe just go to bed before 7 o'clock. Tennessee is going to put the whooping of an absolute lifetime. Hey, friggin' notification! Friggin' disturbing me. Tennessee's going to put the whooping of an absolute lifetime on the Kent State Golden Flashes. And you're going to be the Bronze Flashes by the end of it because Tennessee's going to destroy you. That's all that needs to be said. See y'all tomorrow!